Welcome to Almost Here, Round the Corner Future Technology podcasts with Richard Jacobs. Future technologies poised to transform our lives for better or worse are the focus of this podcast. Almost here means these technologies are now here and starting to be used, or just around the corner, from Bitcoin to artificial intelligence, 3D printing, blockchain, virtual reality, and more.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Future Tech Podcast. I'm your host, Julia Lamar, and we have with us today Hassan Khoshtaghaza. He is the CEO at Satoshipoint, which is a crypto ATM network. We're very excited to have him. Welcome.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So let's start off with, give us a little bit of an overview, because this is the UK's largest network. What really sets you apart, and what is the inner workings of Satoshipoint?
So Satoshipoint was born in late 2013, 2014. I partnered up with Johnny Bitcoin in London, who also invested in a Bitcoin ATM early on at the very start of the stage of the industry. We started with 2 locations, grew organically to start. Since then, we've had some small investment from 2 investors. Now 4 years on, we've got 30 locations in the UK. We basically buy and sell the machines, the terminals themselves buy and sell cryptocurrency. So users can go to the machine and buy Bitcoin with cash or other cryptocurrencies and also sell them. From that, obviously, we're building up the network, and we're bringing out some other services to complement the network, and we've got many more locations planned.
That's so exciting. So I guess what in your mind is the advantage of people using a Bitcoin or crypto ATM as opposed to an exchange?
Sure. So obviously, our ATMs are positioned in the high street, so you can basically go there right away now and with your wallet, your crypto wallet, and purchase coins instantly. Obviously, on the exchange side online, you need to basically verify yourself and do like a bank transfer, most likely to a foreign country. And the whole initial setup is quite a few days rather than instantly going to the shop and getting your cryptocurrency. It's a convenience factor, and generally is probably a little bit more expensive rather than going on the exchange. But apart from that, you got it instantly, and you're in there straight away.
And what sort of cryptocurrencies are you trading on your machines?
So we started with Bitcoin, of course. Since then, we've added a few more to the platform. So we've got Ethereum, Litecoin, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and possibly some others in the near future.
And do your machines work with most wallets, or are there specific ones that work best?
So the machines work with all wallets. The machines also print out a paper wallet if you don't have your mobile phone with you. At the same time, we are also developing our own wallet, which is not mandatory to use at the ATM. But we'll also help the customer finding the other ATMs and importing their paper wallets to the wallet.
So give us a little bit of detail about this wallet app that you're developing.
So it's open source wallet. It's basically at the moment it's only going to be Bitcoin, but it also has ATM directory to help users find the ATM, tell you if the ATM's online and active, and obviously the times and whatnot. On top of that, there's going to be Shapeshift integrated, so you can, for example, if you bought Bitcoin and wanted to exchange it to Ethereum, for example, you could do that inside the app. And we've got many features that will come on later on. This is only just the first version. So we would like to later on, or in the soon future, have Satoshi Wallet, which will pair with Satoshi Card, which is going to be a Bitcoin debit card. So all these services will wrap around the ATM.
And that'd be so great, because I feel like right now there aren't as many crypto debit cards out in the world, and that is going to make it so much easier for for users to access their crypto funds and use them in many locations?
Sure, without a doubt. So yeah, you'd be able to put cash in the machine, and it would be credited onto your crypto wallet. And then if you wanted, you could go spend it anywhere. And at the same time, you can obviously do other features with it as well if you want to convert it.
And you can spend it
an OTC network, which will be integrated into anywhere where you can spend MasterCard, wherever MasterCard is issued.
Very exciting. And you said you have a lot of different locations. Where are you typically placed, and are you looking for other locations as well?
Sure. So our main network is in London. We also are in Manchester and Bristol in the UK, and also some other places, Northampton, Cardiff, and Birmingham. We've got a few more locations planned in the UK. Initially, we want full nationwide deployment. Other than that, we are considering, once we've gained a few more locations in the UK, to create some kind of franchise-like networks outside of the UK in Europe and Asia, and possibly other places after that. Yeah.
So, as a user, for the user experience when using your ATMs, if there's any issues or problems, do you have a support system set up to address those?
Yes, you would believe that there's a lot of support tickets being created. Yeah, we have a team. They're working in the weekdays, majority of the day, and we're looking to scale it up so it's 24/7. Later on, once we get past the barrier of maybe 100 locations, we'll be going 24/7. I think it would be required. But generally speaking, support tickets are going down, and the hardware itself, the software is improving drastically. So everything's becoming a lot more easier to work with. Yeah.
And it's just as simple as a regular ATM. You can bring your wallet, your phone, and go and purchase, sell, trade, all of it, one location.
Yeah, sure. So you can go, depending on the amount that you want to transact. So anybody can go to the machine now and purchase under £500. If they want to purchase more, they have to basically register at the ATM with government ID, a selfie of themselves, and SMS verification. Once they've done this, we manually update them on our back end, and they can purchase up to £2,000 or £10,000 in 1 month.
Oh, that's quite a high limit, which is nice. So tell me a little bit about your background. How did you get involved with Satoshipoint?
Well, so originally when I was living in Bristol, I was a bit of a gaming hobby. And whilst I was gaming, I've come across Bitcoin. I found it very interesting. I didn't take full notice straight away, but kept a little eye on it. And then not long after I got into mining through gaming. I noticed Bitcoin quite some time ago, didn't really take notice straight away, but I kind of kept an eye on it and started reading about it and got intrigued. And I was basically, all I was doing was getting more knowledge about Bitcoin. I started mining with GPUs, and then slowly moved to ASICs chips. I made a pre-order with Butterfly Labs, and then from there I ordered from Cointerra. Realized that the manufacturers are very slow at delivering, and this wasn't going to be a scalable business. But I still wanted to be in the crypto space, regardless of what actual industry I was involved in. I noticed the first Bitcoin ATM developed in San Francisco from Robocoin. So I basically made an order with them. And on that same day, I noticed someone on Twitter that basically made the same order as well. Johnny Bitcoin in London. So I connected with him and said that I created a company and would like to join up with you, and we could have 2 locations. And that's where it all started from, to be honest. From there, obviously, we've managed to get some investment and scale the business. And we've still got a long way to go. We've just started.
And there's a lot of different challenges. But what are some of the main challenges that you have overcome, and the solutions that you've had with those?
Okay, great question. Okay, so whilst we've created a business and tried to scale it, obviously it was very easy running 1 or 2 machines. Not too much work was required. But as we're growing and preparing for hundreds, if not thousands of locations, we want to have the compliance and the network ready to scale and have the foundations there, so we're fully compliant and we can scale without having any issues with banking or whatever. These are the main issues we've had, just having the foundations there and everything there, the liquidity, the banking, the compliance, and being fully compliant.
Very cool. And how long have you been involved in this industry?
So we started Satoshipoint into early 2014, but generally it was late 2013 whilst we was preparing for everything. So I would say I was mining, I'd say 2012, around that time. I'm not too sure exactly. I would have to look up a few things, but yeah. So we're talking.
So you've been in the space for a while then, and you've seen the different changes that have happened. Where do you foresee this industry going?
Well, without a doubt, the entire ecosystem is improving every day with different types of networks, platforms, and services available. Like the network like ours gives great foundations for the whole crypto industry to scale and flourish. I believe we've got a long way to go yet, but we're slowly going into mass adoption very, very slowly. It's going to be exciting.
Absolutely. So if people want to learn more about Satoshipoint, what is the best way to find an ATM? And if they want to follow you and see all these new things that you're coming up, like your debit card and such, and keep up to date, and to download your app, what's the best place to go for that?
Okay, so we're just waiting for a few more updates with the app. You can visit us at Satoshipoint.io. We're also on Twitter and Facebook, and some other platforms, all under Satoshipoint. As we move into these other services, we are going to be branching off and having Satoshi solutions, which will have Satoshipoint, the Bitcoin ATM network, Satoshi card, the crypto debit card, Satoshi drop, the OTC network. But generally speaking, you can see us at Satoshipoint, and we'll direct you to the other services.
Wonderful. Thank you, Hassan. Thank you so much for joining us today here on Future Tech Podcast and sharing your insight and how to start really taking that first step into the crypto world, which I think a lot of people, it starts with going to an ATM because it's got the least entry. Yeah. And do you think that ATMs are going to have more of a role to play or slightly less a role to play in the future?
For the time being, they've got a strong position in the market. It depends what happens, but I can see they'll adapt with the industry, so they could be used for other features. There's so many features that are possible here. Not necessarily just actually buying crypto, but possibly using your crypto to do something else yet to be thought of. So yeah, there's many features, and they may adapt into something totally different, but I can imagine these kiosk terminals will be present, and you will see one on nearly every high street in the UK in the coming years.
Fantastic. We'll have to take a look out for that. Globally, absolutely. Well, Hassan, thank you again so much for joining us. Yes, that was Hassan Khoshtaghaza. He's the CEO at Satoshipoint.io, the Bitcoin ATMs. You can see them all across London. Thank you all so much for tuning in today to Future Tech Podcast. This has been Juliette Lamar.
You have been listening to Almost Here, Around the Corner Future Technology Podcast with Richard Jacobs. Subscribe to this podcast, post a review to discover more future technologies that are poised to transform our lives for better or worse, such as Bitcoin, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, blockchain, virtual reality, and more.